Okay, so let's call the Audit Committee meeting to order for Tuesday, March 21st, 2023. And
6:47 p.m.
6:47, we've got 3 of the 5 members present. Let's go around the room and identify ourselves.
Tim Bonin.
Dick Vanderberg, Finance.
Howard D'Amico. And so in terms of possible votes, I do think we probably should organize,
Definitely.
right?
Yeah.
And so in terms of organization, we would need a chair and a vice chair. I will look for any votes or recommendations for chair. Dick? For chair, I recommend Dick for chair.
Who else is supposed to be on the committee, though?
I don't think we should be nominating folks for chair that aren't here, although I do like that idea generally.
Generally, it's a good idea, but Dick is a fine chair.
Do I have a second?
The second.
Okay, and Dick, would you, if nominated, would you choose to run?
What was the line? If nominated, I will not run. If elected, I will not serve.
Right.
But I'll chair,
Okay.
even though I'm not quite sure what to do. But.
So, Dick Vanderberg, all those in favor for chair, say aye.
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 Okay.
Dick, the meeting is yours.
Tim, you up for being vice chair?
Sure.
So by acclamation, Tim Bonin will be vice chair.
Unless Howard wants to duke it out.
No.
You're good?
Do we have
Agreed?
agreed by
Sure.
consensus?
By 3 votes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So Tim will be the VP. And then in terms of the document, is the understanding that we just look at this and decide if it looks okay? Is that the idea, as far as you can tell?
Yeah, my understanding is Matt, Gene had, Matt put together the RFQ or RFP, I suppose, and Gene had weighed in a little bit on Matt's work, but there's not a lot of,
Here's Heather.
hello, Heather.
We have a quorum, almost.
Me too.
Yeah, we got it.
So I move to recommend that I move to approve the draft of the request for proposal be allowed to be submitted by the town.
The one area before, I'm sorry, Chair.
Go ahead, Tim.
So Gene had asked for a 3-year kind of a given.
Yes.
My read on this was it's a 1-year deal with the town's option for the 2nd and 3rd year. Does that meet Gene's needs?
Is that how it's written currently? The 1 year with a 2-year extension possible?
I thought it was 3 years.
I think she looked for it to be 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I think it would limit how many people you would get for quotes.
That's right.
So I think it needs to be 3.
So is the suggestion that we look to recommend this with one change?
What page is it that it gives the
The first one that caught my eye was on page 3, the last paragraph. The contract award will be
Yes.
for a term commencing July 15, 2023, ending July 30, 2024,
It's time to come.
for a fiscal 2023 audit. This last sentence, second to last sentence, I think is the one that
Yes.
may limit people from wanting to go through the process again or
Sure.
not having the uncertainty. So if we were to amend, is there a motion on the floor or motion?
Motion to amend from a 1-year to 3-year,
as described on page 3, correct?
described on page 3.
We're actually going to meet in the planning board room.
Yep.
Got it.
So
See the email that went out?
No.
What is that? It means some progress.
go out and the first one on your
What's
left.
that?
It means some progress from the room.
Oh, that I did say. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you bet, no problem.
Sarah, did you make that motion, or Heather, did you make that?
I made that
So
motion.
Heather Moran moves that we amend the language on page 3 to read the town shall have, or the contract will be a term commencing on July 15, 2023 and ending July 30, 2026, correct?
January 30, 2026.
January 30, 2026. And then Heather, would you also have the town shall have exclusive option? You would get rid of that sentence.
I do believe we would get rid of, yes.
Does that make sense, Howard?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm standing outside Gavin, and I came in and read the paper.
Come on in.
Sorry, guys.
So let's identify the two additional members to the audit committee that have
Yes.
come in.
Heather Moore.
Mike Fitzpatrick.
Okay, and we did start the meeting a few minutes ago. We had a vote for organization.
Yep.
We've elected Dick Vanderberg as the chair
Yep.
and Tim Bowen as the vice chair.
Perfect.
Okay.
Awesome.
And
Heather,
Two
you
of
were
you
here
were
2 minutes earlier.
widely considered for both positions.
Well,
in your absence.
no.
No,
We
no, no,
were
we're
going
not
to
just
jump into
talking
that
about-
point, but
We were
took it
outside
easy
saying,
on
you
two.
go first. No, you go first. She got the short straw, so she came in.
So this language, what Tim has raised on page 3 of the request for proposal is that while the request is written, and Tim, I think you're correct, drafted by Matt, right?
And I know Jean sent in text this morning, she sent.
Right.
I did read that. I'm just trying to. I recommend a 3-year contract, it was Jean, was suggestion, and she's the town accountant, beginning on July 1st.
Beginning on July 1.
Yep,
So not July 15 then.
July 1st. Yep.
So Dick, here's the concern with the language. The language as proposed has a commission for 1 year that is not an entire fiscal year. It's just what looks to be, 6.5 months. So you really have to do some rewriting. It would seem to me the term would nonetheless be, if you approve Jean's request for July 1, would you run it July 1, 2023, and ending on January 30, 2026?
Or June 30.
Well,
You have to have time to get the audit back out
Oh,
for us to
okay.
have review, so you would shorten that system so that you could have a final audit report before the contract expired. So that's, I believe, is the normal time period.
and you wouldn't have little 6.5 month periods for each of the 3 years.
Right.
No.
The commission would just run for July 1, 2023, and ending on January 30, 2026.
And then we would delete the next sentence, correct?
And I would say for the fiscal 2023, 24, and 25 audits.
Just settle down to dinner.
So that language about extending the contract, you wouldn't need that then.
The middle sentence.
Okay. All right, so we have a proposal to edit the last paragraph on page 3.
Before you go along
Okay.
go further, let's read the last sentence. The price proposal for independent auditor services will reflect pricing for services rendered
We could change that verbiage.
Okay, how would you change?
for each of the 3 fiscal years.
Okay,
One price for each, for collectively the 3 years' worth of audits.
yep.
So, not to muddy the waters even more, but it may have been referenced a couple times in this draft,
Right.
on page 4 as well. I wonder if
Yeah.
it's the will of the committee to just make it clear that we're looking for language cleanup
Consistent,
consistent with
Yes.
the committee's wish of a 3-year audit effort.
yes. One request for proposal for one firm to be hired for 3 audits.
So what about within this where the language is still funky?
Just to Tim's comment, right?
Yeah.
That a rewrite coming out of the town administrator.
Yeah, so short of, us going through this with a
Verbatim.
fine-tune
Yep.
comb, it's probably best to just sit in front of Microsoft Word and look for the committee's wishes and change the language to that. And then we can either give town staff the blessing to go forward with those changes, or we can see it again and
I'm not looking at micromanaging.
I'm not either.
So,
A motion consistent, Heather, if you want to pitch it again.
I move that we approve at the amendments, the addendums that we have identified for the term commencing from July 1st, 2023, and ending on June 30th. January 30th, sorry, 2026, with the verbiage that we took into account.
for each of the 3 fiscal years at the end, and then instruct whomever to make the wording consistent throughout the document?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay, so who would do that then?
That's okay.
That's
not for
the
us.
town clerk or
Okay.
Jean, somebody in the town is going to make those adjustments.
Everybody,
Our recommendation.
is everybody clear on the motion?
I am.
And we need a second then.
Second.
So Mike,
Yep, second.
okay, so Mike seconds. Any discussion on the motion? Everybody clear?
Yeah, real quick. The, Gene or Matt going to be compiling this? We may want to have maybe Lisa just do our edits, we'll put it together. 'Cause they're not supposed to be drafting because they don't want that to be audited.
Fair enough.
This is a suggestion for us, so to Tim's point, just take a Word document, mock it up and forward it to Lisa. And then she could distribute it to all of us. And then as long as we don't comment on it, just so you can see what's in it.
Correct.
And then you just respond back to it and the document's complete.
Directly to Lisa, not to all of us. Open meeting rules.
That's what I think.
If
So
Jean
you
is
just want-
happy,
You just want to assume that it captures what it is.
I do.
Okay.
and if Jean is happy with it, and Matt's happy with it, that's good enough.
But to Mike's point, we made the recommendation, and we're the committee, but we're looking for Lisa to make the changes consistent with our recommendations and put it out there.
Yeah, because in all fairness, the town administrator and the finance
Absolutely.
director are the ones that are in the
So
audit.
back to
So,
them.
yeah.
Sure. Agree. With that caveat as well, that
Yeah.
goes back to Lisa. I don't feel the need to see it again.
Yep, no, that's fine. Good suggestion.
So the motion entails that Lisa will make the corrections
The
as needed.
changes
Yes.
as
The changes.
recommended.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, everybody good? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstained. Motion carries, and the audit committee adjourned.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Howard moves, we adjourn.
Second.
Second by Heather Moran, we adjourn at 6:59.